Hello everyone, we are back with yet another Silksong stream. Haven't broken our streak of daily streams yet. I think that, this might even be like the biggest or the longest streak of daily streams that I've ever done in a row. I know I've had some periods where I stream way more than I do usually, but I don't know that I've ever done, because I think this is, wait, is this actually the 7th one in a row? I thought we were on 6, but I think this is actually 7. So that's pretty cool. And I guess that would make sense, yeah, because last Thursday is when Silksong came out. And today will mark the 7th day then. That's pretty cool. Did I start the timer? I did not. We're going to want to do that. There we go. So this time I actually do have something to talk about that at the beginning of stream. And that is, last time, or maybe it was before yesterday, I expressed confusion at the fact that the Citadel apparently isn't ruled by the Weavers. And I don't know why I had that impression, really. Because I've since had the chance to see some early game dialogue again. Or, you know, catch a couple of glimpses of early game dialogue. Because I was watching someone play through the very early parts of the game. Which I dared to do because I thought it was unlikely that I would see anything that I hadn't seen from there. And yeah, I got to see some of the early game dialogue again, and it is pretty clear that the Weavers are not in power in Farloom anymore, but they were at some point, and they want you to sort of like reclaim this kingdom for the Weavers to an extent, like in some sort of way. Like when you go to those spots where you get the Weaver abilities, like the first one, that's Shellwood. Like the first one here, then the dialogue really, I think it makes it quite clear, at least in hindsight, that the Weavers used to be the ones who ruled here, and now they don't. And of course, I guess they're interested in you changing things up a bit here, as opposed to whoever's ruling right now, which again is probably a pale being, some sort of worm-like creature maybe, I'm not sure. Yeah, but that's, now that that's taken care of, let's see what we did yesterday. I think we would have started yesterday's stream somewhere around Songclave? Would that have been? Oh no, I think we got to this bench. Yeah, this is where we started it last time stream. So we explored the coral chambers. I guess we, like, checked left for a moment, but mostly we went to the right here. And explored this whole place. We fought Trabio, who was this stage performer person. And then we also quickly popped into the Whispering Vault. Or, well, I don't know how quickly, but we were there. And then that allowed us to loop back over here into the Whispering Vaults. Wait, no, I said the wrong thing. We popped down into the Underworks again, and then that looped back into the Whispering Vaults, which ended up being where we wanted to go. Now, this room here had, like, doors blocked by levers. We can't do that. But we got our first, we got the first of 3 melodies, or whatever they were called as a general term. Maybe it was that only one of them was a melody, but no, I think they were all melodies, whatever. We got a cylinder, and we need to go up here where there's a gramophone record player sort of thing, with a certain Vault Keeper, who will hopefully allow us to play it, although they don't seem too thrilled that we're getting our grabby hands all over these ancient records. That's gotta be a bench symbol underneath me, right? I'd imagine so. We also never checked out this path to the left, and I did say last time that I'm unsure what I'll go ahead and do, because yes, we could go after these other main quest things, but what I could also do is go down into the Underworks, because we've got, well, I guess we've got this path connecting left. I believe that is the direction we could go anyway. There was just a screen transition we didn't take. And then, of course, here is the thing we opened with the white surgical key. We could go explore that direction as well. And I'm still curious, like, surely something here must connect to the mist, and perhaps even Bilewater. Took me half a second to remember that name, which I guess isn't too bad. I keep wanting to say the Bilewater for some reason. Like, all of the other areas, I'm totally fine just calling them Shellwood and Underworks and whatever else. But with Bilewater, I keep wanting to say the Bilewater, which is, I guess that's odd. Peculiar, why would that place be different? Saying the, though, is, it's something that gives me time to try to remember what the name is. But again, I don't know why that wouldn't apply to the other ones. Hold on, how does one even play this game? Do I have my rosaries on me at the moment? Very kind of Team Cherry to let you pause, or, you know, to make the map actually pause the game, which, I don't know, I think that makes sense. Oh, and maybe they didn't like people doing inventory drops. I'm getting chased by a funny enemy right now. You can hop down up here, can't you? I imagine so. Let's try to get some silk back. That's right. There we go. Yeah, I have, as usual, between streams, I've sort of tentatively glanced at some, or, well, I don't know. It's not even intentional, but I've scrolled past some Silksong discussions online. Again, trying to be careful, but also perhaps risking a bit too much in terms of spoilers. Who knows? I haven't really gotten spoiled on anything big yet. Well, almost nothing has been spoiled for me. So that's been very fortunate. I like see an area name and I'm like, oh, thank goodness, I know that place. I've been there. So that's been fun. But yeah, I've seen more people complain about the difficulty, is I guess what I'm saying. And I did comment last time that to me it feels like progressing in the game has gotten easier since we got past like the early parts. But yeah, I keep seeing people complain about especially the runbacks to bosses. And some people seem quite like mad and vitriolic about it. Also, although some of them haven't even played the game, but a bunch of them clearly have. And yeah, they kept saying things like, because initially I thought that their issue was maybe with some area that I hadn't been to yet. But then I saw them, and I held on to that thought for a little bit until I saw them like explicitly mention specific places. Like they mentioned this run back here from the to the last judge from this bench. Which also threw away my idea that maybe they just had missed some benches, although I'm sure plenty of them had, because that friend whose stream I was watching yesterday, who was playing the early parts of the game, she like had this bench maybe, and ended up wandering into Hunter's March without finding this bench, so she kind of just went through all of I don't know, a whole bunch of this, and had some long runbacks. But I don't know, I was also very surprised by how well she did with all of that. Because I certainly died plenty of times here, but she like got down to 1 health and then somehow managed to pull through several times. First tried the like guy who was guarding this passageway here, and then also this arena. And she entered the arena on 1 health, which is like, oh my goodness. Well, certainly way better than I was at that point in the game. I don't know. That's just pretty interesting. I guess it's just, maybe it's more of a me thing. That even though I have over 600 hours in Hollow Knight, I still... Hopping into Silksong, I'm not particularly amazing. I guess where my... Like, I can get good at games, but it takes a lot of practice. And I guess what I have plenty of is patience for that sort of thing. Well, no, that depends. That depends, because I certainly don't have the patience to, like, grind hundreds of hours on, like, 1 jump, as some people do. Or 1 Mario Maker level or anything like that, or like practice a speedrun for hours and hours and hours, or rather like hundreds and thousands of hours. That's not something I have the patience for. But you know, spending a decent amount of time getting better at a game that I like, that is certainly something that I've done, and I enjoy that. So instead of just meandering about the room here, we should probably actually start making progress. I have never had this much trouble with one of you squid enemies. Their head sort of looks like a squid, or is that what you call that? Sea creature? Some sort of sea creature is what their head looks like anyway. Yes, but I have once again exhibited my complete inability to move around in the game and talk at the same time. Oh, this might be a bonus room that I should have checked away ages ago. I guess there isn't really anywhere that this could lead. Oh, we're turning on a light again, are we? Or am I trapping myself? Is this a platforming challenge? Is this meant to be a puzzle? Hold on, I think it is. I didn't see what happened on the right. Whoops, and I've messed it up already. Oh, this is fun. Okay, so you just need to follow the... It's Simon Says, basically. I see. Okay, it's the bottom right. So, this time maybe don't miss. Oh, it would be cool if... Wait, how do I reach that upper one now? From the wall. There we go. Will there be another stage? Yeah, look at that. It's advancing. Oh. I assume this was the first one. I didn't actually quite see it, and I've already kind of forgotten. Was it that? Yes. Let's pay attention. Okay, hold on. It was, oh, I almost missed. That's not it. No, what? It was it? Was it then this? And then it's the top left one? Okay, I can't believe I got that right, because I definitely didn't clearly remember that. I wonder if you fail if it resets you all the way to the beginning also. Did I get that wrong? Oh, I did. Wait, but also, isn't that the pattern that I just played? could have sworn that it was... Oh, that's fun. I kind of wish this challenge made you do it without touching the floor. Next one. What? I did it wrong again. Oh, what is this one last? Okay, how did I not realize that once across that whole thing? Alright, we'll just do that. Also, do you need to pogo... Wait. I think I might have overcomplicated this. I don't think you needed to pogo them. I feel like you probably could have just hit them with your nail. Well, whatever. I made the challenge a bit more fun for myself. What is this? Cog-heart piece. Okay, that's a new kind of item. I figured this wouldn't just be like rosaries or some random common item, because that wouldn't exactly make sense. Because this was mostly because this was such a unique puzzle. We haven't had anything like this before. Cog-heart piece. One part of a cogwork heart containing an intricate mechanism of wheels and regulators. Curious. This seems like quite an optional quest. I wonder what we'll be using that for. I guess I'll never find out if you could just hit them from the bottom, but I don't see why you wouldn't be able to. It was just me and my particular fancy for pogoing that I did that. There's some sort of word that starts with A that I wanted to use there, but I couldn't think of what it was. Affluence? No, that's not it. That's not it at all. That's like wealth and stuff. No, that's not what I mean. Affliction? No, affection? Sure, my affection for pogoing. I think that's the word I wanted. Interesting. We had a very similar situation yesterday where I couldn't think of a word, although it was a different word then. Wait, why am I going here? Oh, actually, going here is not such a bad idea at all, because we want to hit that cube thing up. We want to hit that block upwards, because there is definitely a secret in that room. I think that's it's a mask shard. Now the question is, how do I get below there? Because we've been in this hallway, and I remember being very suspicious of this hallway. Ah, there we go. And I was right to be suspicious. Although pretty silly that I missed that secret while going on about, well, this hallway has nothing, so I'm extra suspicious of secrets, and I was even smacking the ceiling. But apparently I smacked the wrong parts of the ceiling. Too bad. It's kind of unfortunate that I currently just accidentally hit the right part of the ceiling, because I'm curious to know like what that part of the ceiling looked like before I had lowered the hatch. Anyway, here's our mask shard. Who put my mask shard in a cage? I mean, I guess it wasn't my mask shard, but it is now. And I suppose it was always destined to be. Yeah, good thing I just happened to wander into that upper room. And, well, then I saw my marker on the map and heard the glimmer. Well, since we're here, what is that marker on the top right? That's also something to investigate. Oh. No, that's just the lever room, sorry. For some reason I thought this was the room that's straight to the right here, but no, that's the room with the levers with a bunch of things blocked off. I think I added that marker just so I would remember there's something to do in that room that we haven't done, because I didn't know at that point what it would look like on the map. Well, we do now. Any enemies up here? No. So let's go have a chat with the Vault Keeper. Is this the same song that we left playing last time? Hello, I have a new cylinder for you, and it's quite a special one. Vault Keeper, I recovered a psalm cylinder in the dark chambers below here. I believe it contains the melody unique to these vaults. I would have you play it for me now. She has visited the Pontiff's depths and stolen the sacred song. Where is your respect, Weaver Spawn? Our venerable dead deserve better than to have their chambers transgressed by your filthy forging. Forging. In this moment, Vault Keeper, I've slim patience for your impudence. Either prepare the cylinder and stay silent, or ready yourself to learn regret. Dang, Hornet is not messing around. Alright, that's probably fair. We were captured and brought here. Psalm Cylinder, right? That's the one we already had. Sacred Cylinder. Sacred melody of the Vault Keepers, coveted and claimed by the Pontiff below the Whispering Vaults. Whoops. Press thing to play. The Weaver's Spawn, she has found it. Our Pontiff's sacred cylinder, stolen from the dark below. Never, states our law, never must our melody pass to a bug not keeper. But you, fool Weaver, would shatter those tenants with reckless ease. Your Pontiff is gone, Vault Keeper. Your fellows have fallen to husker thread. What laws once bound these vaults died with them. Also, I don't know. I respect the Vault Keeper's dedication to gathering and guarding knowledge. But I don't think hoarding knowledge, if no one else is allowed to have it, I don't think there's any purpose to that. But good that you've kept all of these scrolls intact, I suppose. Ah, fine, cursed she! Claim the sacred song and pain to you if we both are damned forever for it. Yeah, that's fine. Hold needle in. That's not the needle in button. There we go. I see. Vaultkeeper, you're not singing very loudly. You're kind of just whispering. Although maybe you're grumbling and being mad. Not actually singing along. Oh? Learned the Vaultkeeper's melody. One part of the threefold melody entrusted to the secretive Vaultkeepers. Yeah. So they are all three of them are melodies. I know that like all of three of them had a different term used to refer to them, but I don't remember what it was. But it does appear that all of them are melodies. Divine music, the soul of Farloom, eternal laid bare, that our cursed age could still receive such blessing. So, Weaver Spawn, our melody is yours now, held in mind to carry beyond our walls. Was the learning worth its thieving? It was, Vaultkeeper, and know to me your service continues. Keep the cylinder safe, along with any others I may bring. Show me your collection. Yeah, right, we've seen that. Nuisance, that's fine. We can be a nuisance. Totally fine with that. I wonder how long this Vaultkeeper's body is. Because this worm is like stretching throughout the whole chamber. Oh, that's actually cool. When the Vaultkeeper pops out, you can see this, like you can see this start moving, and then when they're out, it moves no longer. I'm curious if you can see it get actually shorter in other parts of the chamber. Yeah, look, they're even in the background here. Very interesting. Well, we now have a bench here. And we never found out how to enter this top right part. Did we? I don't think I did. There's a lever here. Mayhaps? Mayhaps we can go up here? Yeah, what? Why did I never do this? Huh? I guess I just went down and never checked the upper part of this room. That's a bit of a silly move. I'm pretty sure I was even like theorizing like, maybe if I go to the Vaultkeeper's part, I can go left. Wait, no, but we did explore up, because up above here is the Songclave, which I think I found some sort of secret entrance to. Oh no, that's like to the left and then up. Okay. So I guess I haven't been in that exact part of the room. Well, but why not? Why did I never check this way? We're checking here now. Oh, that looks like a fight maybe? No, never mind. It's just another one of these rooms with a sort of skylight, except there's no sky in the ceiling. That will give us some silk. I wonder what poor souls have been trapped in these silk cocoons. I can hear the glow of an item. I would know that sound anywhere. Oh, what? Silk Eater down here. Oh, okay. It's just a Silk Eater. The game seems to think them a decently significant reward. And I guess they are. They're certainly nice to have around. We last time, I think it was last time, we finally ended up using one. And it was just in time too, because I died like a split second afterwards, and I would have lost my rosaries. So I'm not saying that the Silk Eaters aren't appreciated, and I certainly like having them in store. Yes. Which I guess is also another reason why I feel like, I don't know, all of the complaints about the difficulty, why they're even more baffling to me. Because like, again, I totally recognize that Silksong is harder to get into than Hollow Knight was. Like, it starts off with double damage and all of that, and enemies are smarter and more agile in terms of the movement. They can follow you around better, and all of that sort of stuff. But, well, I don't know. That's sort of to be expected. Silksong is a sequel to Hollow Knight. It's like, if people were claiming that this is a perfectly fine starting point to someone who hasn't played Hollow Knight, then I would maybe doubt that a bit. But overall, I don't think it's like that massive of a leap. And again, they give you Silk Eaters, which you can even use like without having to go back to Dirtmouth to talk to Gigi, you know, which was the case in Hollow Knight. You can just use them anywhere. And sure, you might not have found, who was it, like Styx? Someone like that. We found Styx over here, who gave us several Silk Eaters, but I don't know. We definitely didn't get all of our Silk Eaters from Styx. And of course, you can't just spam them. You'll run out if you do that. But my point is, if you get into a really troublesome situation, like let's say you're very far from a bench and you stumble into a boss chamber, then you can get your rosaries back by using a Silk Eater, and then maybe wander around the area a bit more to find a bench that's closer to the boss, and there you go. And of course, to an extent, there's also an aspect of get good. I've certainly, you know, had to do a bit of that. And it also could be that it's just the style of game that isn't for some people. But yeah, I think it's also perhaps a bit of an effect that Silksong got so, like, it became such an expected and hyped game So many people were memeing about when's it gonna come out that I think perhaps a bunch of people who aren't even big fans of Metroidvanias in the first place or this style of game, Souls-likes, they ended up picking it up and perhaps aren't such big fans of it, of this style of game in general. Not like, from what I say, it makes it almost seem like the overall perception has been negative, but no, it's still, I think it's very positive on Steam. It was overwhelmingly positive on launch, and then I think the score dipped a little. So like, my point is overall the reception is still great, and I see plenty of people just absolutely gushing over Silksong being incredible. But I think it's more interesting to currently discuss, differing opinions. Because gushing about Silksong being incredible, I can do that all on my own. And talking about other people agreeing with that isn't quite as interesting, I think. So we can go... Do I want to go left? Oh, something that I did happen to... Well, one thing... I said that I hadn't been spoiled on many things, or almost anything. One thing that I was spoiled on, even though it's basically not a spoiler, is that I happened to glance a bit of a stream of someone who was doing this fight, like the clockwork dancers in this room. They were doing this fight, and they weren't entering from the right. They were entering from a left. So they had like a bench somewhere here, and they were entering this from the left. Which means that I guess we could have taken a completely different path, which I guess would have been here. We would have gone left, and that's how we would have gotten there. Which is quite interesting. And maybe we should go explore that left area first, and then we would go up. I could also drop down here and check out this room here. As usual, we've got lots of paths to go down. Right, I forgot there's this tall enemy with a violin bow. Alright, and there starts to be a bit of greenery showing up here. I think that might be related more to the area above us. I need to make sure I don't run into the damage dealing part of these enemies. Again, I feel like the pogo timing is quite precise in terms of you not getting hit. Wait, what do you listen to here? Oh no, that just tells you what you need to do. Can I play the needle in here? Maybe I can even play part of the melody already? No. I don't know if this is where we would play it. But also, I don't know, I think it would make sense. So let's drop down here and go left. What are these, like, circular bits with dots at the center? Are those just meant to indicate the cogs here? I guess they are. So, since we've reached another bench here, which, I mean, it is a bench that we already have found. But, point is, we want to set our spawn point here. Now, hopefully I don't end up... Oh, I completely forgot that this place has this very unique music. You kind of run through the game, and then you get back to a room that has a very memorable piece of background music, and it can be very surprising. The same thing happened when I entered the choral chambers again, and I heard the background music there. Very cool. Yeah, a couple of streams ago I said that I wanted to pay more attention to the background music. And I think what I said earlier about it not being memorable is not... I don't think it's true. I think there are certainly some areas where it's way more ambient. But there are definitely areas where I think the music would be memorable if I, play through the game a couple more times. Because currently when I hear it again, I remember it immediately. I'm like, oh yeah, that was that track. I remember it well. It sounded great. I loved hearing it. But currently I'm not at a point where I can, you tell me, hey, hum that one melody from that one area, and I could not do such a thing. So it looks like the upward path I couldn't take in that room. Although, maybe I could with some enemy pogos. That's fine, though. I'm not in any particular rush to skip things at the moment. We've done some fun skips already early on. Ooh, good thing I came this way first. Is that our last, or not last? Is that our next mask shard? It sure is. We finally get another health upgrade. I remember it took me ages to get the first one. We got that around Haunted Bellheart. Yeah, right over here. Which I guess at this point is a whole, like, half a map ago. I think we've explored about the same amount of areas since Haunted Bellheart that we had before we got to Haunted Bellheart, so that's pretty cool. But yeah, we were very far through the game before we got our first health upgrade. So it's pretty cool to have a second one now. And, of course, we haven't been in this area. I wonder, would anything have stopped you from just going to the left? Like, to this? Because if you can be over here in this left part before doing the clockwork dancers or whatever they were called, I wonder if something would have blocked you from going to the left here? Because so far it seems to me that you're meant to do the clockwork dancers before, because otherwise you wouldn't even know about the gold that's waiting for you there. I do wonder if maybe the clockwork dancers opened up some sort of gate for us. Let's see. Maybe as we run through here, we'll be able to figure it out, because I don't think we got any like keys or movement abilities that we didn't have before we did the clockwork dancers. Is this going to be a screen transition? Yes, it is. That means I will not be taking it at the moment. I think I want to explore this whole vertical room. Yeah, we'll leave this upper part for later. We'll have to come up here anyway, because well, our last goal is all the way at the top. Lots of gates on the side of this room. You know what? Perhaps those are what would have blocked your path to the left. I just don't know what would make the path left be open now. Right? This is where we came from. We opened that gate already. You're gonna deal double damage. No, you're not. Wait, actually, I'm shocked. You're like a biggish enemy and you don't deal double damage. That's shocking. I feel like you're slacking. You're about to get punished by the Citadel Master, whoever they are. Lacey's gonna show up and tie you up in spider silk for not dealing double damage. That's ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous to be an enemy in Silksong and not be dealing double damage, I say. At this point, you're just being lazy if you deal only one hit of damage in a swing. Oh, one thing, another thing that I did sort of get spoiled for me by glancing at the discussions, and again, this is yet another example of something that is such a tiny thing that it's almost not a spoiler, which is why I mean that which is what I mean by basically being spoiled on almost nothing, is that I saw someone say, "Are you kidding me? Now they deal 3 damage?" I don't know what they were talking about or when that's gonna happen, and it was something that I had already guessed that was probably going to happen. But yeah, that's like another example of like the tiniest spoiler that I've gotten, which is, I'd say pretty good in the grand scheme of things. I guess I'm just trying to bring this up to illustrate. Wait, what did I even just get? Some sort of item. Oh, I also have the Pinmaster's Oil. Maybe I should go upgrade my needle. Pale oil. Wait, is that what I just got? Because I also had a Pinmaster's Oil. Bile gland of a rare Sylphian slug. Talented pinmasters can use the glistening liquid within to improve a blade's sharpness. What? But then what was this? Oh! This was my, like... This is the quest screen. Of course, that's not where the actual item is. That makes sense. But what did I pick up from here? Was it just the bone scroll? I guess so. We've had several of those. Whoops, I didn't mean to heal. But I guess I needed to, so that's fine. What I really wanted to do by coming up here was play my needle in again. But yeah, I guess the reason I gave an example of those 2 spoilers is because I feel like otherwise you might be pretty confused of like what I mean by very minor spoilers. But there we go. That's those are the things that I had spoiled that you can approach from the left to the clockwork boss fight, clockwork dancers, and that there will be something that deals 3 max damage, assuming that thing I saw was even true. Oh, and I guess also that there's some sort of crow boss somewhere in Greymore, or I think it's in Greymore. There was some sort of bird boss and it looked like the bird people, or their name sounded like Greymore, something like that. And when I say crow, I of course mean crawl. Look at this, we have like a dining hall? We never had a place like that in Hollow Knight. What? Yeah, it's like a whole room. It's like a restaurant. I mean, it is basic... What am I hearing? It is basically impossible that we don't fight anyone here, right? That is simply not going to... Like, that's out of the question. This is a huge open room. There's no way you don't end up having to brawl with some sort of enemies. What are you? What's happened to your mouth? Oh, you're not an enemy. Okay. Don't mind if I have a chat with you then. The floor's reflective in here. Is that glass or is that very polished metal or is that water instead? This room looks like it might even have water, but I'm pretty sure the other reflective floor that we saw was just polished metal or glass. Loyal Murgwin. What an awful clattering. Would you kindly conduct yourself a little more carefully? And why are you adorned in such an awful livid red? By my oath, those above must make a sport of sending me the most wretched servants they can find. I am no servant, sir, rather a guest of sorts, invited by the Citadel. Tell me, is this vial of oil on display your own? Wait, can we get another? For, sharpening the nail? Or needle? Nothing here is my own, you impertinent young mite. This sacred hall and all the food contained within belong to my most exalted master, the great gourmand, the finest connoisseur who has ever lived, the one whose tastes transcend the ages. None are left now who venerate them as they deserve, save for the loyal, lonely buck who stands before you. That oil is merely a small savory to whet their appetite for the grand meal to come. A spectacular, far-loom-spanning dish that I have been planning for an age. Huh. Oh, I like that cough sound effect. What? I don't think any NPCs... Well, did any of them cough in Hollow Knight? They certainly rasped. But alas, those above seem to have forsaken my poor master, and I have grown so old. Now I can never hope to gather the necessary ingredients. Bless their indolence. Is your master even alive, the great gourmand? Hold on, I need to get your name down, Loyal Merkin, but I'm afraid to set my controller down because apparently that skips the dialogue when I touch the trigger or something. Still you tarry here, bug who calls herself a guest? If your idle claws need work, put them to service for our exalted great gourmand. I must remain by my master, so you will need to leave the citadel and gather the ingredients for their meal in my stead. Oh, is this going to be a fetch quest instead of a boss fight? That's interesting. Gather great taste of Farloom. Very interesting that we're getting a quest not from a quest board. I guess we also have the flea quest, which wasn't at a quest board, so that makes sense. Also, when on earth are we going to see Shurma again? It's been ages. Isn't the last time we saw Shurma, wasn't that in Pilgrim's Rest? That really was an age ago. I could track down any ingredient you desire for a price. The oil you keep here may be of some use to me. Promise it as reward, and your master shall have his meal. Humph, such a squalid bargain ill befits a holy servant. But so be it. Fetch me the ingredients, and you shall have that pale condiment for yourself. Will do. You dally still? If you wish to earn your reward, you should be hunting down those ingredients. Or do you need directions from a serving bug with some experience? From our base, we require the gelatinous mossberry... For our base, sorry. We require the gelatinous mossberry stew. Its concoction is a druidic art, a jealously guarded secret of the moss-painted caverns deep below us. Okay. So, mossberries first. What does the quest say? Oh! We, like, bring together all different areas. Rare delicacies of Farloom. Mossberry stew. And I need to collect the stew, not just mossberries. Very interesting. Well, fortunately, we know where mossberries are. And we also know where the druid is. Don't know what the situation is going to be with all these other things. Although I guess pickled muck maggot. We know where we can find maggots. That's going to be in Sinner's Road. So I guess we're not completely clueless. Right, we also have a quest in... What is this place again? Not Whispering Vaults. In the Coral Chambers. We also have a quest to gather pins there. Yeah, maybe we should go on a side quest detour soon, but I'm kind of just on a roll, and I don't mind being on a roll. Though maybe we should go upgrade our needle. Just to speed things up a bit. That might indeed be worth it. Let's play the needle in for you. Though I think I know what vein your song is going to be in. So majestic, so mighty, your tastes are refined. Yep, just praising the gourmand. Oh, surely you can do more than just 2 verses though. Your holy shining gaze, there we go. Oh, glorious master. Well, you have fun being so devoted, I guess. I'm surprised that this didn't turn out to be a boss fight. But I don't really mind. Although I am still curious, because, like, again, apparently this game has 40 bosses. And I hope they don't count the, like, enemy arenas that we've done as bosses. And assuming that they don't, we really haven't done that many, I feel. I feel like we've done barely 10, probably less. So where are all the bosses? I feel like we've had, like, at most 5 actual, like, major-ish bosses. Which is very interesting. Can't wait to see more of them. And honestly, most of them haven't been too difficult. Yeah, I had a bunch of trouble with the Weaver, and even though I was kind of... I feel like my first real attempt at the Last Judge was pretty good, but then after that I started spaghettiing and it took me like half an hour. But overall, the bosses have been, like, pretty easily manageable. So I do wonder if they're gonna pick up somewhere. I mean, they have to. I don't wonder if, I wonder when, I suppose. Which, oh, that's cool. I can startle you from here. Yeah. Because we are technically still in Act 2, so perhaps I shouldn't expect things to be too tough yet. It's just also that our map seems to be really getting filled in quite far. Another Silk Eater. How many of those do we have now? Even though we've spent one, we still have 7. That's crazy. Yeah, but we are in Act 2, and I assume there's going to be a 3rd act. And, well, I don't know. It doesn't seem like there's that much of the map left, though I guess. I don't know. We know there's at least one area to the left of the slab here, and I guess it, like, to the left and to the right, we could technically expand the areas more. It just so far has seemed to me that Farfields and Greymoor might be the rightmost areas, but technically, we could fit more things here. The scroll doesn't really give anything away. So I imagine the Silk Eater is the reward for this little secret direction. What are you? You're like a jar of stuff. Did you contain food? I guess by some definitions you still do. So then we had this room. I think we got some shell shards from here. I am again filled up on shell shards. That's another complaint I don't understand. Maybe I'm just not far enough in the game yet, but I saw people complain that like, early game you don't know anything. You don't have anything to use shell shards on, and then later on you're just always running short. And, well, to that I say, are we? Are we really? I'm not so sure about that. This is just the dining hall. And I guess that solves the mystery of what these symbols on the map here are. And I guess left is the way to go. Coral chambers. We're back in the coral chambers. We get to have the music expanding in our ears again. Oh! You've been just japed. Thoroughly japed again by the great papyrus. I opened up the latch and then you fell down it. What is this? Ah, there's like a pendulum. Oh. The platform turns on when the pendulum is on the right side of it. Ouch. I'm trying to think currently. I'm trying to think about the residents of Bone Bottom. Were there even any residents of Bone Bottom other than the one that died? I still would like to see Flick the Fixer, actually. Yeah. I'm curious to know. Oh, and another thing that I found out as I was watching that friend play the early part of the game was that apparently Chakra shows up in Bone Bottom, like early on in the game, like after you first find Chakra. And then Chakra shows up in Bone Bottom sometime soon, which I guess she does before you move on to Hunter's March or wherever else you might find Chakra next, which is pretty cool. And apparently she showed up in Bone Bottom for me as well, but I don't think I ever noticed that, or maybe I just don't remember. But she showed up on that one platform that seemed to have no purpose. That's the purpose of that platform, for Chakra to sit down there. Yeah, I checked my VOD, and apparently I could hear Chakra singing, but I was like distracted by other things. Alright, in any case, as I scrubbed through it, I didn't see a single instance of me hopping up there to talk to Chakra, which is interesting. Now here, we have a perfect example of where Hornet's diagonal pogo makes things impossible that would have been very possible in Hollow Knight. Because in Hollow Knight, of course, you could simply go over here and pogo downwards, and you would go up this passageway. But you can't do that as Hornet. Now, I could probably equip the Wanderer's Crest. But I think we shan't be doing that. I am, again, I said this already, I am very excited to be doing randos where you just, there must be an option, sure, like, they must add an option to a rando to start with a random crest. And that would be very, very cool. Just to see how the game changes depending on what crest you're forced to have equipped. Very, very interested in seeing how this game plays differently in randomizer mode. I don't know why I'm just sitting in this one hallway. Obviously, I can't do anything in there right now. So we will be moving onwards. We can go left. I guess we'll keep at my usual strategy of exploring the entire room before doing anything else. Ouch. That is not how one pogo spikes. Excuse me? Spikes dealing only 1 hit of damage? I'm not complaining at all. I'm also surprised that bell didn't hit me. I guess my pogo really took care of that. Have I fought you before? You're like zipping around pretty fast. Apparently I have fought you. I have to say, having that extra bit of health really does feel quite useful. Hold on, I don't want to use these platforms. I want to pogo these spikes. It feels like it must be doable, and it sure was. Whoops, I didn't even mean to jump on that platform. Hello? You're, what? You're a little fool type enemy? Or no, I keep wanting to call you little fools. You're a little pilgrim. Interesting that you can fly. Can all the pilgrims fly? I don't think so, but that one sure can. Or I guess, I don't know. What I'm asking is, do all of them have wings? Probably not. There must be different species of bug. In fact, they are. That's why they're all different. So, the top part of this room has now been explored, I say, as I discover a new thing to explore in it. Who's sleeping down here? Hello? That's not going to be a screen transition, is it? No, it was. Dang it, I meant to explore the rest of that room. Oh, and I'm up here now. Well, I guess I might as well wrap this back around. Let's see, this would be a screen transition if it were open. Well, that's outrageous. Why, yes, it would be. If it were true. Oh! Yeah, look at that. If you do your pogo pogo wonk. If you do your pogo wrong, you can get hit very easily in locations where you might not even realize that you should have gotten hit. But also, if you do it right, I swear, it feels like it gives you iframes. I swear, like, momentarily, it gives you iframes if you poke on something. The timing just has to be right. Uh-oh. Oh, I'm gonna die to the funny enemy. Oh, are they healing? Is that what they just did there? Or is that an attack? I guess I don't know if enemies can heal because you can't see their health bar. And they don't... It's not like they visibly break to indicate that they're taking damage. There we go. Let's actually use our tools. Oh, you dodged my tool. I'm surprised by how many times enemies seemingly accidentally just dodge my tool throws. Although, maybe it's not an accident. Oh my god, you're just raining down. Wherever you damn well please, aren't you? This is a very suspiciously large hall, but I believe I've said that before. Yeah, this is just exactly the same kind of approach, dang it, to the Cogwork Dancer's Chamber as we had from over there. Well, there you go. You can come over here from the left. I will run away from you, though. You've dealt a decent amount of damage to me. I guess I could have grinded soul off... what? Sold? I could have grinded soul off of you at the entrance there, but that's fine. We need not do that. We haven't... a terrible need for it. What? Who are we hearing? Is that a flea? I almost said grab, but no, that's not... That's not who we're rescuing in this game. I mean, we would if they existed here, but they don't appear to. In fact, let me add a marker here, because that is obviously something to do up there. Or, yeah, up there. I don't know why I was about to correct myself, because it is up, and it is there. So, up there was an entirely correct combination of words used there. Whoa! Watch out. Can I play the needle in here? I mean, I should be saving up soul, actually, because we need to heal, but that's fine. It still feels like cheating just floating down like this. We're playing things too safe, but, well, I am on 1 health. Someone's whispering down here. Hello? There's a bench close by to the right. But it's not quite close enough that I would feel confident in relying on getting there. There we go. I got my health back. Again, there's something very exciting about playing on 1 health. Can't wait to try this, to try Silksong on Glass Soul mode. That should be fun. And Steel Soul, that's right, I completely forgot, but I mean, I imagine there must be a Steel Soul mode. I feel like certain staples like that must have been carried over from Hollow Knight, because I don't know why they wouldn't have. So yeah, Steel Soul should be fun. I imagine there will be a Glass Soul mod. Although, well, even if there isn't, you could impose a Glass Soul challenge on yourself by simply, as soon as you take a hit of damage, you immediately die. You would then just purposefully take damage again. Although, I guess sometimes you might not be able to, like if you... Maybe if you have something that deals passive damage to a boss, and then you take damage, and then you can't die fast enough because the boss like dies from the poison or something, then perhaps you might not be able to self-impose such a challenge, but that's probably more of an exception. You can still probably get a pretty good idea of how the challenge would go. Look at these bugs. Pilgrims resting on these spikes, having a pleasant old time. What even is this hallway? Yeah, we could have just gone left from here. Oh, I remember these bells. Or I remember platforming up them at some point. And we've also simply got a bench waiting for us here. A bench covered, or a piece of furniture covered with white cloth. That certainly reminds me of the White Palace. Oh, and you know what else? We are very close to simply exploring that bonus area down below. Dare I take a detour right now? If I were closer to the Bellway station, I think I might go ahead and upgrade my nail, but I think currently I would rather explore this lower area. It's not like our damage output is so bad. Oh, look at you sing. Or, well, listen, rather. Yeah, I like seeing that. The enemies, when they're not fighting you, they can actually kind of just chill around. They almost have culture, even though they are possessed. I feel like... I feel like they have some of their personality left, even. So they're not just fully dead corpses being animated. There's still some remnants of them left, at least. Another cough sound effect from an NPC. I don't know why that's, like... caught my attention so far, but it's certainly nice, a nice detail. I don't know why I'm making a cough out to be such an important, crazy detail, but well, there you go. Ah, we have a bench here too, which is also crazy. Like 2 benches so close to each other. I don't know. I feel like complaining about there being too few benches. I don't understand it. Let's put it that way. Although that upper bench, maybe we only got that on the way back. I don't know. Does that make sense? Whatever. Let's go downwards. We're not allowed to move to the right. That's fine. Yeah, so this area was unlocked by a key, so it can't be a completely unimportant location. But what's interesting so far is that it's not... Wait, what did that say? White ward? Dang it. Of course I had to open my map as soon as we got here. What is this called again? Hold on, what if I left and entered again? Show me the title card, please. Whitewood? White ward? Something like that. What I wanted to say was that I'm very surprised that this isn't leading us into the lava-y part of the underworks. Instead we're going left. I wouldn't have thought you'd fit another area here, but I guess an area that's separated or distinguished on the map doesn't exactly have to be a large area, so I suppose that's fine. That is a boss fight, perhaps? What? Look at this chair! It's a wheel... Well, okay, it's now broken. But it was a wheelchair, or at least a chair with large wheels. Let's clean out these cobwebs, although, I don't know, they're also sort of an indicator of our people. They're a sign of our people, because they're all silky and made out of spider stuff. Okay, the ambient background noise here is interesting. What is that? Are these like spears pointing at a chair? Like the Sword of Damocles, perhaps? Well, except these are more like crossbows with spears in them. What is this? So don't tell me we need another key. An ornate lock mechanism with a keyhole at its center. Oh, and I completely forgot to write down the guy who wants food. I don't think their name will be coming back to me. Will it? I don't think it is. So we will write down food guy. Actually, perhaps if I look at my quest screen, it will tell me their name. Gather, Farloom, blah blah blah. No, it doesn't tell me the name of the quest giver. Whatever. Food guy serving gourmand. Or serving the great gourmand. That's fine. We don't need any other notes. But why I opened up my notes document in the first place, of course, is that white word? Question mark? Below coral chambers. Needs a key. Or ornate key. Right, let's inspect this again. What did that say? An ornate lock mechanism with a keyhole. Yeah, ornate key. That's probably an accurate enough note. I'm surprised nothing jumped out at me to attack me, because that room was certainly, well, trying to be ominous with its music at the very least. Though, perhaps it will throw a nasty surprise at us as we're leaving. Where are we going? I keep checking the map. Like, is this... Well, like, whatever area this is this really just, like, over here in this section? Because, again, it's not similar at all to that lava area, and it's still very much, ouch, feels like part of the Citadel. Or similar to the Undergrowth, at least in this section. That bottom part was slightly different, I guess, but I don't know. I'm just surprised that this is a separate area. Where have I gone now? Huh. I don't think I can enter that room from here. This might be a preview. Okay, we can go right across that propeller, or we can... Well, we can only go right across this propeller. And going right is a good direction to go in, because that's also the direction that that little preview of a room was in. Although I have a feeling that, well, that fight that I was worried about happening might be over here. Any secrets to the right? No, none of these are breakable. Whoops. Right, you've got latches that... Oh, was there a secret up there? Maybe. The frequency of fleas in this game is much, like... The fleas show up much less frequently than the grubs did in Hollow Knight, right? I think that is the case. I certainly feel like grubs were more common in Hollow Knight than fleas are in here. Although maybe we have the same amount and they're just spread over the map. What, I can just roll this thing? That's so cool. Well, I was able to. Wait, and that's like a surgical... Oh, it's like a surgical, what, trolley cart? You would lay a person on this and you could roll them around. Very interesting. Yeah, it was a white surgical key that led us to this area. Have I opened up a convenient shortcut back to where we came from? That's kind of what I'm hoping. We are approaching the coral chambers again. So if there is a shortcut to be opened, I would like... Please don't, like, make a tunnel up here. Oh, okay. It is a tunnel, but not one that causes me problems. It seems? Hold on. Is this the elevator that we came down? I think it must be, right? Oh, don't hit that. Yeah, there we go. We have a bench now. That's good. In that case, I will go left first. It seems like that's probably more likely to be a dead end. Perhaps a fight chamber. And we now have a convenient path back here from the bench. That's another thing. Like, maybe people aren't finding secrets that lead them, that give them shortcuts back from their bench. I don't know. Maybe that's why they're finding the runbacks annoying. But really, like, running through one room before a boss fight isn't... Like, that's not a problem. That doesn't cause much of a disturbance. It's almost good sometimes to reset your brain for a moment so that you're not only stuck in boss mode. And also, like, I talked to Board about this, or, well, I don't know, we messaged a tiny bit. And Board said that, and actually I think someone else also said that they think of the run back as like part of the boss fight, which I would agree with. Of course, you don't want to have like a super long, super annoying run back where you're just basically doing nothing. But to an extent, if the run back is a couple of rooms and it has a bit of a challenge, but nothing too major, then I think that's perfectly valid, just part of the boss experience. It's not just wasting your time. It gives you a chance to reset your mind and also makes it so that you have some pressure to get back there. Without losing all your stuff. Choral Commandment. Ooh, that's actually very interesting. We already had one of those and got it translated by Relic Seeker Scrounge. And, oh, hello. And that was, I think, probably one of the more interesting relics that we've had translated. Because, of course, the single Choral Command that we had found already was the one that gave the order to capture us. And said, like, you must use the rune cage. So I think that was, like, the most interesting piece of lore from all the relics that we've gotten so far. So I'm very curious what the second one says. And, did I determine that the location where you found the relic affects, like, what it says? Like, it tracks which specific one you found? I think so, because we found one in, like, we found some sort of tablet or a harp thing in Weaveness Atla, and then it seemed, like, directly related to that location, so that's interesting also. Drag Husk, remains of a citadel bug possessed by silk drags. The husk will lash out wildly with the many sharp pins caught inside its thread. That was interesting, and I guess that's a regular enemy who will be showing up more. Many sharp pins. I guess those would have been surgical instruments then. Those were like almost actually pin-sized. Because usually, you've got needles and pins in this game, and those are like large two-handed weapons that people wield. But that, for once, was actually a pin that you could almost consider needle-sized compared to the bugs, you know? Like, the bugs could use them as actual needles rather than large weapons. Although they were still a bit too large to actually be a needle. Now, is this down direction a secret or not? I imagine this is... Oh, no, it's a screen transition, though. Ooh. Well, we'll remember that downwards path, hopefully. Just in case, I'll add a marker here. It's probably gone too far left, but it's fine. Hopefully I'll remember what it means. Or, if this room doesn't lead into a boss fight, which I thought it was going to. I saw that chamber, and I thought I was about to fight the boss. I hear an item. Oh, it's just down here. It's another Silk Eater. The interesting thing about those is that you don't pick them up. Like, they drop down as a glowing item, as if you were going to pick it up, but then that's not what happens. It just sits there. That's quite interesting. And I guess, yet again, that is the entire point of this room. They're really throwing Silk Eaters at you. I wonder if that patch that I talked about, I wonder if that's already in the game and maybe they, like, added more Silk Eaters. I don't know. Because surely adding Silk Eaters to places like this, like, what would that mean? Was there something else here before? Did they add a whole, like, secret section just to add more Silk Eaters? Like, no, I don't believe so. I feel like if they're changing things, they must be, like, changing enemy damage amounts and things like that. Not like changing actual level layouts. At least not yet. I don't know. They could, of course, do that also, but I just somehow don't think they have, or at least that they've done so yet. I don't know. I could very much be wrong. Hello, a machine displaying a model of the Citadel. Yes, please give me a map. We know what this means. Look at my rosary count, actually. What? We've kind of slowly been gathering rosaries. I didn't realize no, I think I did realize last stream that I was at 900 or so. But look at that. We were above 1,000 just now, and I think we still are. No, not quite. But we have a pretty good amount of rosaries. This is a slightly scary sentence to say, because it might mean we're about to lose it all. I'm going to jinx it. Look at these flames. Or, these, like, hearth things. Oh, my goodness. My good friend, double damage. I thought I'd never find you again. You've got a large weapon. You've got a large poker to poke me with. Oh. Let's try to avoid getting hit by that again. Oh, is that? I think that's 1/2 of a shear. Yeah. Or actually, no, that just might be like 2 halves of a shears combined. Oh. I'm being a bit reckless, aren't I? Whatever, that's fine. You are a regular enemy, aren't you? Mortician, altered servant of the Citadel's White Ward. There we go, it was called White Ward. Hey, I wrote it down and saw it correctly. That like split second that I glimpsed it before I opened my map by accident. Responsible for the cremation of husks and the recycling of silk from their shells. Oh. So they recycle silk from the shells of husks. And I guess husks are, you know, those that were possessed by the silk. Interesting that the silk isn't just like something that they get back. Because like if, you know, if they're being controlled by silk that's being moved by someone, it's interesting that it requires like a separate bug performing a separate procedure to get the silk back. Interesting. Very interesting. I like the way these little flame, these little hearth sections look. Pretty neat. Should I play my needle in around here? No. Well, I mean, I guess it didn't hurt. It just also didn't accomplish anything. Is this the direction I wanted to go? Right. I can remove this marker. We've already done that. So it does head to the right. But the thing is, we know that down here, there's already, like, fiery parts. And the question is, does the White Ward, like, poke down into here? Or, no, I feel like White Ward might just be a small area and this place still is in its entirety the Underworks. Or maybe it has a different area under there. And, of course, if you look at the large map, this whole place is the Underworks, including the White Ward. So we've got the larger outer Underworks. What is it? Underworks, yeah. We've got the larger Underworks and then the inner actual Underworks. Hello, it's another one of you. You're no match for me. I will toss my thing at you. You have dodged my attack by not being near it when I did it. Incredible. Impressive. You must have some crazy foresight. Are you descended from a worm, perhaps? Because I am. I don't know that Hornet has foresight, though. My spidey sense... Actually, Hornet would be a character to have spidey sense, wouldn't she? Ouch, hello. Hello, Mortician. As usual, the first time you encounter an enemy who deals double damage, it's still scary, simply because of how little room for error there is. But at this point, we have, what? We have 7 health. So we can take, even with the hits that deal double damage, we can take quite a few of those. Oh, you're gonna get blown up by that, aren't you? You should. I'd recommend it. But get this fight over with faster. Yeah, so Morticians are just a normal enemy. It's still so funny to think, because like in Hollow Knight, whenever you see a double damage dealing enemy, like the Stalking Devouts or the big guards in City of Tears, the Bellflies, you know to be like extra careful. And I guess in this game still need to be extra careful, but it's not like a spooky realization of like, oh, goodness me, this enemy deals double damage. It's more of a, oh, okay, it's another one of those. You need to be careful, but it's kind of just par for the course. Did I find anything in the right part of this room? I guess not. Is the floor breakable? Maybe. Leftward to a boss fight? No. Leftward to some spike. Look at these. Again, looking very different from other spikes that we've seen. Well, I don't know about very different, but certainly looking different. What is this? Craft metal? No. Injector band. That looks like a tool that we can equip. It sure is. This one section of tools is really getting filled out. Brace of surgical pins from the White Ward. Used to forcefully insert silk deep inside a bug's shell. Ugh. Increases the speed of binding. Oh, so it's basically quick focus? I feel like binding's pretty fast already. Haven't really had any issues with it taking too long. I mean, sure, if you do it in a wrong location so that an attack is just about to show up into you, then of course you're gonna get screwed. But I feel like, I guess it depends on how much faster that this makes it. Because like, if it makes it so that you almost don't freeze at all in there, that might actually be pretty strong. But again, I don't know that I'd want to start relying on such a tool. Using charms feels like cheating half the time to me. Or felt like cheating in Hollow Knight, and using tools sort of feels like cheating in this game. But they're part of the game, so it's not like I'm actually opposed to using them. It's just I will always, like whenever you get an upgrade in a game, I will always wonder how would the game feel without the upgrade. And then I end up doing challenge runs later, just to see what that's like. Or randos. Randos are kind of a simpler version of a challenge run, where the challenge run just kind of ends up being whatever the rando throws at you, rather than you deciding to take on a specific challenge. Now this is a room that, where the ground is, the floor is lava. Oh my goodness. So we can just get a look at this bit here. But is there any purpose to that? It might just be a fun little viewing location. Whew. Can I break this ground? I think the timing for how long you can stay on that burning map ground, I think that's like actually perfect. If it were any longer, it would feel like too cheap. Like you can just waltz around here without a care in the world. But if it were any shorter, I think it would be too annoying. But it's just short enough that you can like step on it and be here for a split second. But if it's like you already start burning if you stay there for a second, I think. I'm not sure exactly. But yeah, I think it's just enough to give you the exact right feeling of being on your toes and having to hot-foot it across there. Oh, look at that red or orange, orange glow behind that propeller. That's interesting. I keep thinking that at least one of these is going to be a breakable wall, and I guess some of them have been when they've been more broken. Now, perhaps I'm wrong, and this does connect to the underworks, or, you know, split the underworks in half. That's sort of seeming likely at this point. I'm not sure. We are now heading downwards. Downwards in the white ward. White ward. Who's about to attack me? Oh, you're a double damage dealing enemy. Of course you are. Wouldn't expect anything less of a creepy crawly hallway in an area in Act 2. Or even in Act 1. There we go. You are now dead. I would like some Silksong for healing, but we're not in any particular rush. So this was just for money. I am again filled up with shell shards. Those things really just... I guess maybe I'm just using them too little. I don't know. I feel like every third run I do toss my tools at some enemies though. Okay. I'm gonna say we can't easily get back up through here. Oh, hello. That's another chorus. We fought the fourth chorus? This is another chorus. Whom we might fight. I honestly hope we get to fight another chorus, or maybe we get to fight 3 at once. The other 3 are all one boss fight. That would be cool. Yes, but getting back up through here is not an option, it seems to me. I wonder if this is the only way to get to this part of the underworks. I like this look from down here. Not because of a funny reason, but rather because this reminds me of Hive Queen Vespa in Hollow Knight, where you like go down into the chamber and you see the underside of Hive Queen Vespa, which like it's just this large bee, and then you go up, and then Hive Queen Vespa's ghost shows up there. I don't know. This just very much reminds me of that, like this giant bug hanging in the background, and it's split in 2 by different rooms. I guess Bardoon to an extent. Oh, this is... Well, this 100% is where we finally get a grappling ability for those rings. It has to be. That's a boss fight. That's another one of the choruses, right? It must be a boss fight. Oh, and this connects back here. How interesting. So this is not the only way in here. We could have also come from the right. Right, and then if you get this grapple ability... maybe you don't get this here. But if you get this grapple ability, you could go up from here. And maybe that's how you could access the white ward also? I'm not sure though, because I don't remember seeing this grapple point up in that tunnel. So, this is gonna be a boss fight? No? Are we sure? The next room's gonna be a boss fight? Hello? Who's making a noise up here? Oh, this has to be... We must be getting the grapple ability. There's no way we don't. Okay, thing on the floor to check out. Rest. Oh, it's a bench. I love how different the benches look. In Hollow Knight, a lot of benches look similar, and then you have some that look different. You'll find one that's like just a shell of a bug rather than a metal bench, or you'll find one that's slightly tilted. But most of them look the same. But in this game, like, almost every bench has been different. Of course, there are some that are like the same type of bench, like the tall benches, but even them, like some of them are like stuck in the ground a bit, or have like a bell in the background broken. But what I think is most interesting is that in this game we've got like actual chairs to sit on. Oh no, Hollow Knight did have one chair, or at least one. I can remember, because you have the Pale King's Throne. That's right. I think my favorite bench has to be the one that's in the hive and is in honey though. That's so cool how you break that free and then sit on it. I guess I also just really like the aesthetic of the hive. Okay, enough yapping. Let's try to go somewhere. I can go down here maybe. And this appears like it might be bonus, which is precisely what I was hoping. Although, it's just for shell shards. Are you kidding me? What am I gonna do with all these shell shards? There aren't even that many enemies to toss my tools at. And in the latest town, what is it? The Enclave. Songclave. Yeah, here. I don't think that quest board even had a single quest for shell shards. They just want rosaries, which I guess we have the rosaries now. We could go there and pay the rosaries for the quest. But it feels quite silly that we just have all these shell shards and not much to do with them. Okay, let's jumpstart this propeller. Need to remember that there's an entrance down below. Sometimes Hornet sound effects still seem to get cut off. That's like the one, that's the singular aspect of not like lack of polish in this game. Well, and I wouldn't even call it that. It's just perhaps a small oversight. Like sometimes when Hornet's voice clip gets interrupted, it sounds like it gets cut off really abruptly. Which I guess isn't an issue that you'd have in Hollow Knight simply because your knight doesn't make noise. And also this has been something that I've noticed like 4 times in our 32 hours. So it's not like it's a major issue. It's just a thing that I've noticed. So we can go left or we can go down. I think we want to go left. Left seems less likely to... Oh my goodness. No, this place looks entirely different. But it is still part of the Underworks. That makes sense, because we saw this room... Like, when we saw this room from the other side of this wall, we were still in the Underworks. You're like, yeah, we couldn't access this part. But, you know, it's not like this was a separate screen. It was the same screen that we were seeing. Cogwork Underfly. Small automaton built to work without complaint in the scorching heat of the Underworks cauldron. Are those your legs, or arms, or wings? It might be all at once. And claws. You take only 1 hit to kill, though, which is crazy. I guess you're not meant to be a fighter. You're just here to fix things. Although, you'd imagine that they'd want to make you to be slightly sturdy, given that you work in these dangerous environments. So I wonder if we can open up a connection back here to this left area. That would be neat, I would say. Wait, what? What is that lever for? Oh, I think that's just bonus down below. That doesn't open up like a direction to here, right? Although this here does look like a door that one might be able to open. But I'm, like, quite certain that when I was over there in the left area... In fact, isn't that bottom platform what I exited out of? Yeah, I think so. So no, I don't think there's any way that I could have just missed that lever there. I don't think that's the issue. I don't think that's the reason why we weren't able to get here. No. I imagine that if there's gonna be a shortcut, we can open it from this side. Oh, look at that. For once, I actually parried a double hit attack that was coming my way. I guess that might be something... that might be the term to distinguish these. You have double damage attacks and you have double hit attacks. Oh, it's another enemy that tosses flint, but this one's extra explosive. Cogwork Hauler. Small automaton with a shielded shell intended to carry loads of dangerous flint flame. Yes, carry and drop it onto me, it would seem. Another person down there. Or rather, robot creature. Oh, what are you? Oh, you're just one of those brush enemies from the Underworks. That's right. I remember you. Oh, I should have healed maybe before I got the shield. What? Before I got the silk, I mean. Who just died? Underfly. What? Did one of you, like, fly into lava or something? It is no wonder these constructs were cast. No mortal bug would last long inside that scorching place. Even my shell struggles to withstand its heat. What is happening? Why has the game dropped to 4 FPS? What? Not sure what happened there. We're not at 2 FPS anymore, but we are still at like 34. Hello? OBS encoding is not overloaded. I feel like it might... I hope it's something with this area and not something with my computer. But this is quite interesting. What? We're still at like 26. It must be this area. Something, like something with the lava or something somewhere happened. Let's try leaving the room and see if that improves things. And then we'll come back. Oh, I wonder if these enemies respawn, because they're so weak. I feel like it would be the type to respawn without you having to reload the area. What just happened? We might want to clip this and report this to Team Cherry. I'm not sure. Yeah, look, frame rate immediately went up. I guess you don't see the frame rate counter, but we were like in the 40s for a while. At first it dropped down to like 2 and 3, and then it went to... Then it stayed at 40, and now, as I exited the room, we're back at 120. Okay, I will add a stream marker for this. They have a bug report form, but I haven't... I've been too afraid to look at it. Because I like took a glance at it, and I immediately saw that because you want to look at the bugs that people have already reported to make sure you don't double report something. And then, well, there are like end game things listed there, I'm pretty sure. Or like, you know, places from later in the game that you might not have reached. So I will note down these bugs and funny situations that we encounter, and I will report them, assuming that they haven't yet been reported, at the end, when we are not any more afraid of spoilers. When we are no longer afraid of spoilers. So hopefully that doesn't happen again. Previously it started right down here. 120. So we are staying consistent with the frame rate. Yeah, I wonder if like one of these enemies, like fell into lava and started infinitely spawning cogs or something? Because definitely, like one of them died off screen and then that happened. I do wonder what might have happened there exactly, or maybe you, exploding bug that you are, you caused something to happen. This lava almost certainly deals double damage if we fall into it, right? I believe I remember that's what lava did elsewhere in the game, so I don't see why it should change over here. Although, I don't remember if that was just like lava that was in the ground, like, you know, as a pool, or if it was the lava falls. I think it was both. I'm quite certain. You know what I should do more of is these spinny jumps that you do on a ledge. Oh, and I also think I saw someone do like a backflip. I could have sworn I saw them do a backflip, although maybe that was just, you know, doing this jump off of a ledge. I swear they kept spinning for the whole jump though. I'm not sure what they did to pull that off. Oh well. And also I could be misremembering, of course. Now this area where the frame drops happened earlier. What did I do here? I assume I just got some shell shards and or rosaries. Now, we can go left or we can go right. I'm surprised that we didn't fight any of the choruses. Also, how did the fourth chorus end up all the way down, well, where we encountered it? Oh, I probably shouldn't end up in the funny explosion, should I now? What am I doing? Let's heal. Oh, this is also almost certainly a boss fight, right? This feels very much like a boss chamber. Hold on. I'm kind of throwing away my usual strategy of, well, not just jumping into a room and then leaving. Although maybe I, well, shouldn't have done that. I thought this might be like just a small dead-end room with a bench. That does not appear to be the case. Get away from me. I know I maybe shouldn't have done that because now I don't get a soul from you. But I was a bit more afraid of the explosion damage there. I thought the explosion damage... I thought avoiding the explosion damage was a higher priority than making sure I was able to heal there. Okay, well... The reason... Uh-oh. Dang it! The reason I'm not turning around immediately... when I found out that this room wasn't a dead end... is because, well, we might at least explore one of these rooms thoroughly before moving on to the other one. What is that gate over there? It's got red on it, but I think that's... like just from the lava. The fourth course also had like red on the bottom of it. I wonder, will we get the ability to swim in lava? Because that is certainly a suspicious door. I will add a marker here. We are really running low on markers. Hopefully we can start removing some of them. Although I've said so before, and then we have removed some, but overall our marker count is still reducing over time. Oh, and we're back? No, we're still in the underworks. Right. But the good thing is we had a bench close by. So even if I die, we can get back to these places. I just need to remember which rooms I've only glanced into and which rooms I've explored thoroughly. I imagine that path left, maybe that just wraps around to that left area. I didn't mean to enter another room, you are kidding me. Okay, well, I'm taking a very unmethodical approach to exploring this current area. That's fine. Not everything needs to be perfect. What was the point of this? I must have gotten some rosaries up here. Oh, there was silk here, that's right. Do we need silk that badly that they'd care about giving it to us? We also had a direction left here. This was nothing, seemingly. We have top left and we have bottom left, and then of course we have the path to the left all the way down here. Which, you know what, I will also add a marker for. Somewhere over here there's a path, and then of course it's this down path, which we haven't taken yet, but I imagine that will stay indicated on our map, so I should hopefully remember to get back there. Is this a boss fight now? This area must be... Come on, it must finally be the place where we get those grappling things. There have been so many of them around. Yes, we've seen them in places before, but never in quite this much abundance. Yes! Give it! It's been ages since we got a new movement ability. Daughter of a distant land, we who remained have waited long. Bind our strength to yours, reclaim the future of our haunted kingdom. Yeah, this dialogue is the same everywhere, and this is what I meant when I said that, like... It seems quite clear, or at least in hindsight it seems relatively clear that the Weavers are not in power here anymore. And would like for us to usurp, or at least... defeat whoever's ruling here right now. Reclaim the future of our haunted kingdom. Right? Reclaim means that it's not currently claimed. And our haunted kingdom means that, well, this at least was theirs, and I guess they believe it rightfully is. I don't know. Let's bind this ability. And it must be a grapple. It must be. It just must. Bound the ancestral art. Claw line. Press LT. Fling the needle as a harpoon and launch forcefully towards it. Silk will be expended. Strike enemies to replenish silk. Silk. Okay, hopefully not too much silk, but I guess we'll see. LT. Left trigger. Right, this is also Hornet's ability in Hollow Knight, right? She can like toss a needle and go towards it. So what's like what directions can we do? I imagine not diagonals, but we can do this. Up maybe? No. Down? Okay, it's only sideways. That keeps things simple, I suppose. Anything here? Nope. That was, well, I wouldn't say that was worth the risk, but we sure risked it. Yeah, what? Okay, so this allows you to grab onto it. I'm not sure why you couldn't have done that before without the Silk Hornet, to be quite honest, because currently you've just, you know, stuck your needle through this grappling point and are holding on. Weren't there more platforms down here before? Or am I up above somehow? No, I don't think I am. Oh no, and I shouldn't have expended my silk that I wanted to use for healing. Oh, that was close. Alright, well, awesome. I'm glad I ended up in a pretty okay direction in terms of places to go. Oh, that was meant to be a pogo. And I guess our natural silk regen is just about enough to make sure we can always grapple at least a couple of times, I would think. We'll see about that. Yeah, so we can... It always regens to 2, it seems. For a moment I thought it was... I thought we had reached a point where it always regens to 4. Oh, you're kidding me. I need that enemy. Please tell me you respawn. I mean, I imagine I can just leave. I can just exit the screen and respawn them. I think what the game probably wants me to do there is to, like, actually just... oh, we're locked off in here. Is to actually just... Silk... What is it again? Silk Harpoon? What are you called? Clawline. Is to just clawline into the enemy. I think they're probably trying to teach me that you can pogo... Yeah, they're trying to teach me that you can pogo like that. I figured. I just wasn't certain that it would do that, so I was trying to a different approach, which would have worked. Or, well, could work anyway. But yeah, I should probably just do what the game's trying to teach me. Oh, I'm a fool. I can't believe I just did that. Well, I mean, I can. Seems like just the sort of thing I would do. There we go. We can skip some of these, but we probably shouldn't skip too many. That might get risky. That might have been a reckless move. It sure was. I would really prefer not to die in this room. Yeah, float over here and grab on. That really feels like a pretty risky jump. I feel like we just barely make that. I think I'm doing some part of it wrong. There we go. Gliding is quite risky when you've got ledges to grab onto. Oh, like there. Like, I think if I hadn't glided, that would have been safer. Shard bundle. That's all that this is. Whatever. Let's play that. Hold on. I'll get some silk from you, and then I'll go back here, because I want to see if the needle in does anything here. Doesn't seem to. Well, worth a shot anyway. It's generally a good idea to try playing our needle in anywhere where the thought strikes me that the needle in could potentially accomplish something there. Even when it's like the remotest chance, just in case, it's probably worth it to try. So we are scaling this room up with some sort of goal in mind, I imagine. Is that a boss fight? No. I also thought I saw a grapple point to the left somewhere. Oh, do we think this is going to activate a mechanism? Yes, it is. That's very cool. Uh-oh. We're doing a fight. I don't have too much health, but that's fine. Oh, this is not good. Realistically, we shouldn't need more than 1 health. Simply don't take damage. There we go. We can heal now. That's good. This is just what we needed. Oh. They might want us to use our grapple here, actually. Yeah, looks like that deals 2 hits. That's pretty nice. You're gonna start throwing things at me, aren't you? Well, 2 can play at that game. Oh, I shouldn't go running around too recklessly. And I also, well, of course the silk spear, or not the silk spear, the harpoon thing, it consumes silk. Oh, hello. You love shielding, that's right. Oh, but I can get real close to you with my harpoon move. Stay away. Ouch. I perhaps shouldn't be dashing right into enemies. There's more. Okay, it's you, but you're not too bad. Oh, well, maybe you are if you do that sort of thing. Ah, Hunter's journal entry. Cogwork Hauler, born and built only to work until time stiffens its limbs. Perhaps it is mercy this construct knows nothing of the freedom it lacks. Perhaps. Oh, and that was the fight. Okay. Usually they have like an impactful ending animation, but maybe I missed it because I went to check the journal. I didn't mean to hop up right here, but I think this is fine. This will just connect to the bench and then we can go back. Do I want this bench right now? I'm a bit afraid that it'll fill in the map for places that I've been. Also, who am I hearing right now? Who lives near here? Hello? Oh no, this is the bench that we already have. Right, we already heard you up there. So we can use the clingy thing to get there. Should I rest at the bench? Hold on. Oh, you're kidding me. Oh, you're kidding me. I can't go back? Oh, you're so funny. Oh, this is hilarious. Well, then I guess I'll have to go around. I also thought there was something in the top left part of this room, so I'll add another marker, and we currently only have one marker left. That's fine. I threw them around quite freely. Just in that bottom area. Alright, let's rest at the bench. Things are quite safe. Who is over here? Hello? 12th Architect. Wait, Architect. That was, they wanted like the Song of the Architect. That was one of the 3 things that we wanted. Right? Important lore. We would hear the Song of the Architects at the core of our citadel. But that's not... No, the Song of the Architects, that would be at the very top then. That's where the core is. I think. 12th Architect. Let me write down your name. You are a character. So you go in the character section. 12th Architect. You are in where? Where are we right now? Under works. Near where we got grapple move. Whatever it's called. I've forgotten already. Master, you seem the lone maker left in the citadel. Are you my enemy? The other constructs of this place object aggressively to my presence. Bugred? I am a maker. Yes, enemy. No, I am an architect. Only an architect. To build, automate is not choice. It is our nature, directive cage. Interesting combination of words there. I love... I wanted to talk about this before, and I did mention that I love the nicknames the different NPCs give Hornet, because we've had like what Red Maiden, and you have a child wielding needle, and several other names, and now we have Bug Red. It's just very cute seeing what different characters decide to call us. Wait, do you have a mask, like a copper mask there? Do you think it's something I could get a fragment of for my health? You are a weave type, yes, a first child. Rare, extinct, or not, it does so seem. I love your dialogue, the way that it's... You know, the way that it's written. The funny robotic quirks to it. You see, true master, I bear the lineage of weavers, along with other strands equally strange. Yeah, indeed. Hornet does have some weird lineage. Then on your request, read as directive demands for Farloom's first children and our kingdom eternal, I shall serve. I shall craft. Okay, we can dump our rosaries here. We should, of course, leave some. Oh, we probably don't... Yeah, we don't even have enough craft metal to do everything. We can upgrade our toolkit. Tools of my craft, they could be used to improve your own, make harder, sharper, right? Let's start from the beginning. Cogwork wheel. You have affinity for such radial blades. I can build upon the idea knowledge. Make them retract. Make them force store. Force store. What does that mean exactly? If someone hits them, they like store the force and then lash back out with it? Sawtooth circlet. This band of metal teeth, sharp and light fine. It could be woven within your red outer layer, a hidden weapon. Would this be like Thorns of Agony? You get hit and then that lashes out. Sells tools and stuff. Vendor. Actual vendor character is what we found. Needs craft metal. I should also write that. Needs craft metal. Wonderful. So, we also have Scuttle Brace, a flexible shell prosthetic. It would enhance the weave type's flexibility, allowing evasive options. Enhance flexibility, huh? Oh, but it takes up a compass slot. I might buy it, but I don't think I'll be using it. We also have a crafting kit, which is quite expensive. We have an architect's key. Acquire 2 more tools to prove aptitude. If Bugred could prove their aptitude with their implements and others like, I would offer my key to grant access to the chapel store above. Okay, well, I think that's my immediate first priority. I will buy the cheapest tools and then I'll buy that. Yeah, okay. In that case, Scuttle... Oh, no, but I can't buy the upper one. I'm a fool immediately. Also sells architect's key. Sells architect's key to grant access to the chapel store above. We need one more tool for it. So this is like Salubra's, you need to own this many charms. We need to own one more tool for it. Well, that's unfortunate, because I can't, I don't have the craft metal for these other two. I should write down that she has, or that this construct has 2 more tools. Needs craft metal times 2. For 2 tools. Still. Okay, so that's very cool. We've found a shop. I guess I might as well... Should I spend my rosaries on this crafting kit? We won't have too many left after this, but... Might as well, I suppose. I don't know. Too late to change our mind now. And look at you, you go straight back to work. Scuttle brace. Yes, we should... Down at RT to scuttle. Oh, will this look sort of like the shape of Un, maybe? Interesting. Oh, and do we have more of these, Pimpillos? I haven't been no, I don't think we have more of them now. But I certainly haven't been tossing them around very much. Yes, and you have been expanded. Tool damage has been increased, which is wonderful. Pouch capacity might also be nice to upgrade. So, I'll talk to you a bit more and then I will play the needle in. Master, I seek a melody held by your line, one part of a sequence and key to ascending above the citadel. Can you teach it to me? Our melody? I recall. Yes, there was melody once, but its sound, that I possess no longer. Too long have I worked. From my mind vault, the imprint has faded. With many things it is like this, remembrance dimmed. But you may hear it still. At the height of our core, there it is. It means it's a system, near complete. Constructs old built to sound our song. They need only be set to functional form. I love the way this dialogue is written. And the stuttering sort of reminds me of, what is it, B2 EMO from Andor. Bugred, do you ask, need our service? We shall create, as is our directive, to serve for Farloom Eternal. I love you. Your favorite NPC. Actually, that's going in my notes. I'm noting it down. Well, not favorite. One of my favorites. Top 10 NPC awesome character. Sherma probably also gets that. Chakra. I'm not writing those down right now, but yeah, Sherma and Chakra definitely have that. Who else? I don't even remember half these people. We still haven't seen Yarnaby again. I wonder if we'll see Gilly. News a bit scary. Mushka's cool. Yeah, I don't know. I think it's Sherma, Chakra, and you. Whatever your name was. Grindle's cool to see, but Grindle's also a bit rude, though I understand. Okay. Well, I will be back. I will be back to buy more things. I guess we will have some things that we can't quite unlock yet. You said chapel store above is what that architect's key unlocks. So I imagine, well, I don't know how far above. If it's in this area, then I imagine we will reach it soon enough and we'll discover that we haven't got the key for it. That's gonna be it, I would think. A lock gate bearing the symbol of an architect. Right, yeah, so it's just above here. Very simple to keep track of. I wonder what this store will contain. We also still haven't found a Kickstarter area, which I guess there was only one of those in Hollow Knight. Well, no, not necessarily, actually, because you had those, like, spirit characters that show up. Like some, not warrior spirits, but just spirits. Who you know, if you dreamnail them, you get 1 essence. I guess those were also Kickstarter's characters. And then, of course, you have the Spirit Slate, which has, like, the majority of things. And has an extra secret part with, like, messages from Kickstarters. My point is, we haven't found anything of the sort yet. But I believe that is in the game, because there was an option to, like, show Kickstarter names. I feel like there's something between my tooth. Or, well, to be between, it would need to be between 2 teeth, wouldn't it? Oh, well. So we could grapple onto here. That might lower our platform. It has not done so. It hasn't happened at all. Okay, I'm not sure what the point of that is. That might just be for fun. I am so happy that we can finally hang on to these rings. We of course have locations to use them in now. What? We have locations that we can do stuff in now. That is certainly cool. Have I been here? I think this is where I dropped down from. No, actually, no, it isn't. We were at the bottom of this room and couldn't get up, I believe. I could be wrong. No, I think we descended from the right part of this instead. Yeah, and I thought this was gonna be a boss chamber, and then it wasn't. Is this any chamber at all? Has it got anything to do with me? Or can I... Have I got anything to do in here, rather? No? Oh, but we can go up here. Right, so this is what the exit that we saw. Oh, that's just the propeller moving. I was like, what is moving near that entrance? It is just the propeller. I was honestly kind of excited to fight one of these fourth chorus things. What is this? A doorway that I cannot access. Okay. If you must have my last marker, then so be it, but... I'm not exactly thrilled about not having any left over. So I will sit on this bench. We will fill in the map of this location also. Yeah, I think that marker belongs there. It doesn't indicate that as a secret at all. We of course know we need the architect's key, and that is sort of indicated on the map as like an object of interest to an extent. I don't know. It's not like a big noticeable marker, but it is slightly different on the map, and of course we will know that we need to come back to this vendor. Now, let's check out all of these markers that I placed all over the place. Here's the bottom left exit. This was meant for the top left part of this room, I want to say. Whoops. Yeah, because I wanted to see what was there. There was something. I think it was like closer to this entrance. It seemed like there was more to do. So let's go on another loop down there. There was also a... What? Yeah, the path down from here. I never went there. So maybe that's actually the top left part of this room that I wanted to see. No, you just get a preview from here. So maybe I should have gone here first before I went left earlier. But we'll see. Oh, this actually connects to one of those barred off doors, doesn't it? Yeah. It sure does. Oh, never mind. It leads down there. Ah, here's one of the barred off doors. Oh, and does this also open a path over here on the left? Wait, no, it's got a whole tunnel going on though. Oh, please don't become vertical all of a sudden. Wait, and this connects over here now. Oh, no. Okay, so it automatically resets, which is a bit unfortunate because that means we can't like permanently open this path. That sucks a bit. Oh, wait, no. No, that's not true. We can, because we have this lever on this side now, so we can always open it from like both sides on the left and right. But my point is if we're in that vertical shaft, then we can't open that passage. Like we can't get from the vertical part back here easily, it seems to me. And the point of this place is what? Needle in? No. What? What then am I doing here? I don't even have a marker to place here. What? Am I missing something? I feel like I must be. Oh, but I haven't got the markers to throw around. Okay, well, I know I'm gonna go back to the cauldron, so I will add a marker here. Perhaps? I don't know. I'm sure we'll get rid of some of these. I keep saying, and I keep being wrong, and then I just run out of markers. Yeah, what is interesting is that I can't get back to that room from here. Yes. We have a marker over there in that room on the left. Maybe I should go check it out right now? We should be able to come back here anyway. But should I really go do that? Or do I want to explore this loop first? Eh, whatever, we're gonna go do it. This connects to the elevator. Maybe we could do something up there now. Maybe not. But yeah, we'll just run over here and do this real quick. That lever should stay, I'm hoping. We need to be careful, because this place has some spiky cogs. Yeah. We can just real quick pop over to this room and see what was so suspicious here. Ah. It really was just suspicion, it seems. A location that seemed to have nothing to offer. It could be that this will, like, that will get a quest from a wish board, or from a wish wall. And that will reveal what's meant to happen here. What am I doing? I'm just tanking hits left and right. At least none of those dealt double damage. And nor double hits. Yes, I found this entire thing just suspicious. It seems like... This down here seems like one of those piles of rubble that you just open from the other direction. But then how would I get down there? I'm thinking I'll make my way back to the right area. But on my way back I will take this path instead. So we can see there might be another thing in the ceiling that I can open that I somehow missed earlier. Yeah, like perhaps in this spiky room. I imagine I might have been scared. I think we had like an arena fight in here. We got locked off in here and fought some enemies. Yeah, I remember actually. Vaguely remember fighting enemies on either side of this pit. Or I'm thinking of some completely different room and I'm wrong. That's also completely possible. Well, that doesn't, That doesn't seem to have, revealed any answers for me. So I'm thinking that that passage will have to remain marked as suspicious. Unless this elevator room has a secret that I didn't find. Don't enter the elevator, though. That's not where we wish to go right now. There's a hole in the ceiling, but that is just for the elevator, and I don't think we can enter it manually. Okay, well, that's fine then. We will not worry about that marker for now. We will instead try to get these other ones cleared out over here on the right. For that, wait, what was this? This just leads down. Still don't know what that was about. Good thing we've already added a marker for it. So, back to the bench we go. I guess simply because we wish to sit on it. And get some health back for free. So, back to the vertical room. We're gonna do this whole loop again. We've already been in the upper part of this room. Oh, nice parry. Hornet? What? Hornet. Combined Pogo and Hornet, but that wasn't even a Pogo move. Okay. We are about to get blown up. Let's try to avoid that. Yeah, so we've got that marker up there. Did I? Oh, yeah, this left room. Absolutely, we need to explore this. Because this was the one that I just looked into and then didn't go anywhere. In fact, this might be somehow what ends up connecting to that room there. Somewhat unlikely, because there's a room between them. So I don't know how they... That flew very far away. What? You just respawn? Okay. In that case, I might not want to sit around here. Oh, it's a flea. Hello. What were you stuck in? You were stuck in a rock? Talk about being stuck between a rock and a hard place. With the other hard place also being a rock. Oh, okay. Totally a safe room to hang around in. My goodness. Explosions left and right. Okay, I think this was just a flea. I think it's probably not too necessary to look for secondary secrets in rooms that already had a reward for us, especially if it's one as significant as a flea. Because, like, if the room only had rosaries or shell shards, maybe you'd have more reason to be suspicious that it's hiding something else from you. But in a situation such as this, I think it's probably just wise to move on. So that room was checked out. Why did I have you here? Because I thought the wall might be suspicious on the bottom right? I'm not sure. Or maybe I thought this was suspicious on the left? I don't think so currently, at the very least. Or no, I might have just... I think now that might have just been an indicator for that left room, and I placed it when I didn't have the map for this place yet. Yeah, because we hadn't sat at a bench and mapped this out. That must have been it. Well, it probably was it. I wouldn't say must have, because I'm not that certain. But I think it likely. So, what I was suspicious of was this bit over here. Is this a wall anything at all? And currently I'm thinking no. I feel like it would have at least rattled from those Silksong hits, so I will remove the U also. But also, we've already been to the right here, so I think it's fine. It could technically connect to the mist from down here, but it seems to me that the mist is going to be quite disconnected from these. I don't know, we might find some sort of shortcut back here. We might find some sort of shortcut connecting these areas, because I imagine they'd want to do that just for convenience, but it might be just a small little secret passage, and it might be coming here from an entirely different direction anyway. So here we still had an entrance to the bottom left of this room. Here it is. And, well, it sounds quite certain that it's just a bonus, although you could fit a whole boss fight down here, I suppose. And we're beneath, like, a lava chamber. So it would be fun if it were, like, a boss that drops lava on you. Oh, you have had lava dropped on you, my friend. Is that a ceiling we can break? Probably not, and we probably wouldn't want to break it, given that there's a whole lava chamber above us. So actually, let's not worry about it too much. Yes, you die in one hit. You don't! Let's keep away from me. At least they fly real far when you hit them. So as long as something you care about isn't in the direction that it flies in. Oh, look at that craft metal! If I come... Wait, that means we can get the tool! That means we can get the tool that we want from the architect person. That's awesome. Too bad I now spent a bunch of my rosaries on that crafting toolkit. That's unfortunate. Dang, I wish I'd come here first. I wouldn't have bought the crafting kit then. But I guess we do deal more damage now. Well, that's awesome. That's certainly a reward I'm happy with. Oh, don't get stuck in there! My goodness. I don't know how that lava didn't hit me. Again, like... Again, I feel like that there's a lot of things to balance out the extra difficulty that the extra damage and smarter enemies have in this game. Because, yes, you're taking more damage, but I feel like the hitboxes and frame timings are very forgiving in a lot of locations. So I think some people might also just be only looking at the double damage and not appreciating all the other factors that make things easier to balance things out. I'm not sure. That's kind of what I'm feeling at the moment. I don't even need to fight you. What am I even doing? Let's go over here. Now, the top left of this room, I don't really think there's going to be anything up there, but just in case I wanted to take a glance. But no, there really is nothing. And we already got the shell shards from there. Hello. I'm going to run away if you don't mind. No need to fight you right now. I'm quite content with the battle I've already seen. You're a pretty basic enemy anyways, although I might not have your journal entry. Yes, these little platforming enemies are very easy to get journal entries for, and I guess they die in one hit specifically to make it so you can't just stall on them. That's also nice, I suppose. And I guess dying in one hit means that you can't farm soul off of them. So, let's see, we're back here. We have, there we go. We have now explored the cauldron. I can't go to the top right yet, or, well, I don't know. That seemed inaccessible to me. But I think I can buy that final tool. But the architect's key also costs money, so that's... Hello? Oh, what? You have a raising chair? You're so cool. You're so cool. Oh, and I didn't... Wait, did I even play the needle in for you? I think I might not have done. Okay. Give me one of these. I'll get the cheaper one. We'll get the Thorns of Agony, and then we'll have enough money to also buy the key, which is very cool. That means I don't need to come back for that, although you still have one tool. Needs crafts metal for one tool, then. Sells tools, sells architect key. We need to own one more tool. That's no longer true. We, in fact, bought... sold architect's key to grant access to the chapel store above. Thank you. Let's play the needle in. Hello. What have you got for me? Always an architect. Designs divine. From these memories, skill. To mend unending. Always an architect. You also got such a cute voice. To serve eternal. From these thoughts creation. You have a lot of different lines of dialogue for the needle in. Sorry, I don't have enough silk to keep playing for long. Okay, whatever. We get the idea, I think. And I guess I don't need to... Oh, hold on. Let's actually try out our abilities. I was gonna say I don't need to rest at a bench, but... Let's try out our new tools. Just out of curiosity. So we have this scuttling thing now. Ouch, ouch, ouch. This. So down and RT. We will swap it out for the magnetite root for a moment. So I can do... What? That's not it. Oh, down and RT. What? This honestly just seems like a silly, fun little move to be a goofy goober. I don't know how helpful that's gonna be in boss fights. Like what? You don't seem to move that fast. I don't know, I guess you move pretty fast. This just seems like a funny meme item. Hello? I don't think we found any tunnels that were too low for us to go through, right? I guess if we do, we might know that we need to use this. What a silly item. Yeah, I don't see how helpful this is gonna be in boss fights, but there might be like an aspect to this that I'm not appreciating. Okay, you can jump with it. Can you wall jump with it? I somehow doubt it. Yeah, okay. Interesting item. I don't think it's worth giving up our magnetite brooch over. But it sure is hilarious. And now we also have you. You go into a different... Oh. Right, that's a different item. Injector band. Sawtooth circlet. Flaring the cloak. Will spin the blades, damaging surrounding enemies. Serrated metal teeth able to be affixed to the hem of a cloak. Well, let's see. How does that work? It might not be Thorns of Agony after all. And we might not need Weave Light too badly. So how do I do that? Flaring the coat. If I do this... No, oh, flaring. They mean this. I see, so that would be like a separate attack. That's interesting. And it hits both ways. Curious. Let's see, is there anything, like, because we don't need to have the silk thing there at all. That's right. We could, I like the poison. I think we'll keep that, but we could have something else here. If shattered, the mask will be, oh, okay, that's like our extra hit, basically. Speed of binding. I'm curious how much faster it is. Let's try to put that on for a moment. And we will go get some silk from the enemies in this room, I suppose. I know they die in one hit, but that should still be easy enough. Oh, we can reload the room. Okay. Taking damage is fine. We're here to test out healing anyway. Ouch. Although, maybe don't take so much damage that we're actually in danger. That would be a bit silly. I think we'll just leave the room. And respawn them. Might take a bit, but we're almost to a new heal anyway. I'm really curious to see how much faster it is. I feel like it would need to be like really quite a bit faster to have much of a point in staying equipped, you know. All right, so I am moving and I heal. Did I even equip it? That didn't feel much faster at all. Increases the speed of binding. That didn't, like, I'm not even sure that I noticed the difference. Maybe if you looked at them side by side, you could tell, because I know some people who, like, you know, they put on long nail and they're like, wait, is that even longer at all? So perhaps this would be worth it, but I don't know. Do I want this on? Do I still want to keep the silk regen? Do I want to keep the thing that attacks when binding? This is actually interesting, because we get, like, 2 supplemental things that can make our non-attack abilities also deal damage. We can make our binding deal damage, or we can make our Drifter's Cloak deal damage. That's quite interesting. I think I'll maybe put on you. We will get less silk, though. I quite like getting more silk. It says increases the speed of silk regeneration, which is, like, what does that mean? Does that only refer to my natural ability to regenerate silk on my own? Also, why is that not even regenerating at all? Do I not regenerate 2 notches without it? Is that what gives me the 2 notches? I think it might be. Or do I, like, constantly keep regenerating? It just regenerates slower for each one, so I haven't realized that it regenerates more than 2. I feel like in that case it should at least indicate that it's doing something even if it takes a while. Interesting. I think that might be what gives me 2 things to regenerate. I don't think I can take that off. I don't know. This ended up happening to me in Hollow Knight also, where I simply just stuck with essentially the same set of charms for a while, usually. If I take you off, and then I use my second one... Whoops, didn't mean to activate that. It really doesn't seem like the second one intends to show up at all. I don't know. I think I want to keep this on. This might be very far from the most effective approach, but I don't particularly care. Anyway, thank you for the key. I have one more tool to buy from you, which maybe... no, I was gonna say maybe I should just spend my rosaries to make sure I can buy that, but that's not the issue here. We don't have the craft metal for it. That's our problem. Well, let's enter the architect's door. Use architect's key? Absolutely. Is this gonna be a boss fight? Is this gonna be some sort of lore repository? Very interesting. I could see this being a secret boss fight. Oh, it's a chapel! We get a new crest from this. That makes sense. Oh, what? We just get to claim it because I guess getting in here was a trial of its own, or what? Trial. Like the other chapels, you can kind of just get into, but here we had to like buy a bunch of stuff to get in. So I guess that was a challenge, and find craft metal. Right. Bound the crest of architect. I guess it's sort of like the shrines in Breath of the Wild, where, you know, most of the shrines you do a bunch of stuff in the shrine to get something, but sometimes getting to the shrine itself is a quest, and then the shrine simply is the reward. Which is interesting. I am a bit off-center in the camera view, am I not? That's fine. Pretty sure I was still visible. Bound the crest of architect. Spin the needle as a screw. Shredding foes. Spend silk to rapidly craft new tools. Okay. Press up and B. To change crest, open the... Yeah. Up and B, you say? Up and B to spin my thing? Or is that just what all my attacks are going to be like? Again, I don't know that I'll be switching out of my current crest. I kind of really like using the default one. So, it's like a screw. Indeed it is. How about the down pogo? Oh, that takes way too long. I'm not going to be using that. Again, as a challenge run, or, well, not necessarily a challenge run, but as like a fun thing in a rando. Absolutely. As I've said, I would like to do a run of Silksong with each crest equipped. Because, like, again, this is very... Oh, I can hold it! And then it goes for a longer distance. That's cool. Okay, we've also got an up attack. We presumably... Yeah, what does a dash look like? Again, it takes like a bit to charge up the drill, it seems. Right, and you said up and B. Oh, that's to replenish our tools. Right. I think this could make for some very interesting combat. Maybe you wouldn't rely on your nail too much even, but you could really spam tools. You use your nail, or your needle rather, you use your needle to get silk back, and then you just replenish tools and keep spamming them at enemies. That's interesting, and I've also found a secret just now. Hello? This looks like a needle in playing spot. Yes, it is. Our hope? Always eternal. Designs divine. Yeah, that's the same dialogue as that other architect. Build, craft, pass. Always another. Always another thing to build. Can it end? Seems to have ended for you. Our hope. I hope that doesn't end, but I'm pretty sure it has. Always eternal. Well, that was cool. I'd honestly kind of forgotten that chapels were even a thing that existed. Designs divine. Are we just hearing the ones from the right? We might be. Also, this is another fourth course like thing, isn't it? Neat. Well, that was the chapel. I really should have expected that this would be a chapel, but as I said, I kind of forgot that they even existed. Well, thank you for the new crest. I don't think I'll be using it. As has been my reaction to most of the other crests. Oh, look at its shape! You can equip 3 red things, which I guess makes sense since as I said, your major damage output is probably going to be tools. You're going to be dealing damage with tools, so you want to have a variety of things to choose from. And you can expand this with memory lockets to have different kinds of things. We have 6 memory lockets, so like we could upgrade one of these. Like maybe the Wanderers, in case we want to do platforming. Whatever. We will stick with the Hunter. That's Hornet's Crest. We're playing Silksong after all. We're not playing any kind of architect game right now. Who do you even think we are? So, you have one more item to sell me. That red marker up over here. I don't imagine I can do anything with it now. Right? This was just blocked off. Can I hang on this and like weigh it down? Seemingly not. White word. Could I enter the left side of this room? Ouch. Oh, right. This is that whole other area. That's right. I don't remember if there were any grappling points here, but I think we should go at some point soon enough to finally get this this grappling point. This needs the grapple. Oh, no, this one. This needs the grappling ability, and we've tried to get it several times without it, and we haven't been able to. So I think it might finally be time to actually go over there soon. But I think, whoops, I've done a terrible job at opening the map. I wonder what was over here. I think that was probably just another room that I went in and didn't find anything to do there. Yes, the cauldron, white word. So that's just a whole direction that we have now explored, seemingly. And I'm thinking we're gonna end stream. As I said, this was gonna be a short one. We did make some progress, though. We explored technically one whole new area, but also we explored a new section of the coral chambers, even if we didn't explore much of it. And we explored a new part of the underworks, the cauldron, and we finally got a new movement ability, which is huge. That's, I don't know. We've made progress by beating bosses recently, but we certainly haven't found a new movement ability, I think, even since we got the wall jump. Is that right? I don't think we've gotten a new ability since the wall jump. And of course, we went on a bit of a detour to the top right part of the map, which also increased the amount of time that we spent since getting an upgrade. I do wonder how unusual my path through this game has been. I feel like we've taken some unusual paths, though I did. The stream I watched yesterday, she also took the path. Like when going to the deep docks and getting to the dash, they also didn't come through this bottom part, but went through Hunter's March, as I said. So that's interesting. It's not just me who took that path. Anyway, I think that's going to be Silksong for today. We didn't make much progress, but as long as we make a bit of progress, I'm gonna be happy. And again, getting a new movement item is actually a huge amount of progress, even if it isn't like us getting a story item. I'm very happy to have gotten this. I wonder if you could skip out on this. Like, is this gonna be needed for some of these things, for some of these other story melodies. I don't know. I guess we'll find out. But for now, that's going to be it. I will hopefully see you tomorrow. Who knows? I'm not guaranteeing that there will be a stream every day, but so far, the past 7 days, I've at least managed to keep up a good streak, which is pretty cool. Anyway, thank you and goodbye.